Perfect. So first and foremost, I'd like to welcome all of the attendees to today's webinar event. My name is Sean Kozak. I am the founder of the NeuroStreet ecosystem and the acting managing partner and CEO of Arc AI and NeuroStreet and CryptoStreet and TickBlaze and the whole family of companies that we represent. Today is a special event on behalf of ARC. And, every 2 weeks to every 3 to 4 weeks, we put on strategic webinars with regards to our product releases. We've got several development companies that we work with in parallel to build and develop indicators and automated strategies. And we're one of the top 3 largest development companies in the business. So a lot of people always say, hey, you launch a lot of webinars, you do a lot of presentations, and we will always do that. For those of you that are new in here wondering why we have so many products, we are a development firm, Arc AI, and our business model is to produce indicators and algorithms. Arc does not run trading rooms. Arc does not run education programs. We're specifically a system development firm. We build indicators and algorithms, and we have a consistent release schedule for years to come. And today we're excited because Arc over the last 12 months or so has put a heavy emphasis on automated development, mainly because of the growing interest of quant trading and automation. And with automation comes a lot of different caveats, and each of these types of systems are built strategically for specific reasons, specific functions, specific strategies and rules and whatnot. And today what we're going to be discussing, and it's exciting because when you start out in the development, for those of you that have ever built an idea, or how many of you guys have ever found yourself tinkering on the charts, looking at strategies, backtesting ideas manually, coming up with concepts, tinkering, and, kind of pigeonholing yourself into an area where you're like, well, that looks good. And well, I think this makes money. And, kind of everybody, I think, has a passion for it, or you wouldn't be here to some degree. Well, that's kind of what happens in R&D. And Arc AI, and I'm giving you guys a little backstory as we kind of get into today's presentation, because I think it's neat for those of you that are new, and for those of you that are been here a while, this will be kind of a breath of fresh air as a different style for today. In the R&D process, what we do is we sit down as a team of experienced traders, developers, programmers, quants, and we look at a whole lot of different concepts, from trader request to indicator porting over to systems, to merging concepts, to interviewing top traders, you name it. Looking at other products in the marketplace and seeing, is there ways where we can do things better and differently. And what's unique about it is that sometimes what happens through that R&D process is we really get the opportunity to bring to market unorthodox concepts. A lot of trading strategy providers, they'll give you a MACD crossover, or you get an EMA cross, or you can build a momentum system, or whatever the case may be. But Arc is known for pushing the boundaries of a lot of different things that, it's safe to say, are not existing in the marketplace. And so we're going to talk today about the SPRINGBOARD algo, and we're going to talk today about the engine that drives the automation behind our automated systems inside of Ninja. And then we're really going to talk about prop trading, specifically for getting funded with algos. We're going to go over how we've developed the SPRINGBOARD algo for both range and reversal trading, and then how to take it into trending markets. So we've got a specific discussion around this, and then how the SPRINGBOARD algo brings it all full circle. We didn't know it was going to do this. This is kind of a exciting way for me to kind of kick things off. Is we didn't know the SPRINGBOARD algo was going to be able to do the things that it's been doing, and that's why we posted some of the videos and the performance and the emails leading into today's presentation, because some of the templates never even had a losing day. And it was like, okay, it's kind of a treat once in a while where you get and you build a system that is it's really, really productive, and it's really efficient. And so that's kind of what this is, and we call it the king of capitulation, because it was originally designed for capitulating market system scenarios, meaning like really, really, really puking markets. You know, have you ever seen the market where it just starts tanking and starts tanking and starts tanking, and then all of a sudden it just stops and reverses? Or when it's just ripping to the upside and then all of a sudden it just stops and reverses? Like, we call that tops and bottoms. But when we started building this, we were able to nail that, plus take it into trending markets, which we didn't expect to do. And this has kind of allowed us to be able to nail what we'd like to say is a pretty badass strategy. This is, you know, something I think a lot of you are going to leave here today saying, oh, okay, well, this is something I didn't expect. So we're going to get into that, guys. Because this is an automated event, you know, we have to cover disclaimers. And I thank you for giving me the opportunity to kind of lead with that preamble. I think it's nice for a lot of new guys in here to kind of get a little backstory. Take a second of this moment of your time and read the disclaimer here. Make sure you understand I'm not your investment advisor. I'm not here to give you advice. I can't guarantee performance, and past results never guarantee future results. So give me a Y in the chat box. You accept that. You're a professional in that you understand it. You're able to be here and you agree to those disclaimers. Yeah. Thanks. Perfect. So I like to always lead with this. If you don't know where you're going, you can't really understand where you've been. You know, I'm a big believer in setting goals. I'm a big believer of having a game plan. It's very easy to drift. I'm sure a lot of you guys have, you know, had, you know, a week where you sit down and you say, you know what, I'm going to do this. I'm going to get it. I'm going to master this. I don't give a shit how hard it is. I'm going to take care of it and I'm going to master it. How many of you guys have ever sat yourself down and said, okay, the past is the past. Let's move forward. I'm going to set new goals. I'm going to start making better behaviors. I'm going to change some of the behaviors that are causing me problems in trading. I'm going to make better life choices, et cetera, et cetera. How many of you guys have ever felt yourself sitting down, doing some goal setting, some inner reflection, some, you know, these things that I think are kind of, you know, innate to all of us? Well, when it comes to trading, it's not just about, okay, get up, eat a healthy breakfast, do some exercise, get the blood flow, sit down and have a great mindset. Trading is a business of understanding everything that drives good trading. And some of you have different struggles. Some of you have different objectives. Some of you are good at certain areas and bad at others, right? But I think it's important that we sum it up into a basket of everybody needs to get on board this. This slide sums up everybody in a nutshell that is here, including myself, including Jim, including our dev guys, including everybody that's in the business. We all want consistency. Some of you are day traders, scalping, swing trading. We all want to remove the interference that we create through emotions or our own obstruction. Some of you struggle with execution. Maybe you're just getting old. Maybe you're not as computer savvy as you'd like to be, or maybe you're just, you know, when the markets are moving quick, it's hard to react, right? I think there's this dark cloud that kind of hovers over algo trading, and that traders get excited about a system. They see a system, they buy it, and then they expect it to be the holy grail. And then they get they get this bad mojo, so to speak, around back testing. You know, they say, well, back testing doesn't work, or optimizing is just garbage. You know, there's nothing like forward testing. Yes, but, you know, I'm here to kind of push the norm a little bit. And when we say accurate back testing, you know, if you sit down a discretionary trader and then a quant trader side by side, and you ask the manual guys, can you show me the last 100 trades marked up on your chart where you've proven that you have a thesis to work? They're going to be like, well, I can't do that. But yet they'll slam back testing because they had some losses on something or they didn't see it working the way. So I think that what has to happen is understanding what accurate back testing means. And you don't just stop there. You need to understand back testing and where it is and what it means and how it's used, and then how it leads to optimization, and then how optimization leads to forward testing. And then that's where you can kind of bring together the full picture, right? But it starts with understanding what we all want. We want to see stability. How many of you guys would agree that when you look at an automated strategy and you see the performance report and you see the back test, it gets you more excited because you actually have some form of evidence that it's been working in the past, right? Nobody really knows if other things have been working in the past, right? You can assume it's working in the past, but you don't really know it's working in the past. And you can sit there and say, well, this guy's had a couple great trades. He posts his trades in Discord and yada yada. Maybe he's a star trader. But if he can show you that all of the other concepts that they work, I mean, this is the whole point of automation. And you're going to miss less trades because automation can get you in based on rule sets, right? If you're able to have pre-configured templates, it's a starting point rather than trying to reinvent the wheel, right? And so these are all the things that I think you're going to get from today's event, because we want to be able to get you to your goal. How many of you guys, can you guys just type in here, are you looking to get funded as a prop trader? Type a yes. If you're trading live accounts, your own money, type live. Just type prop for prop or yes, and then type live for live, whatever you are. Because by the end of this event, what I want to do is I want to build the foundation so that you can leave here today with this tool and accomplish just that. I don't want this to just be some information gathering session for you. I want this to be an environment where you're like, okay, this I can do, this I can really put to work for me. And that's the objective for today. Okay, we got a bunch of people saying both, so that's great. Prop traders and live traders. So the reason automation has its point in the market is that traders struggle emotionally. Every trader has emotional interference. I don't care if you're the best trader in the world, you have emotional interference. Missing trades, execution speed, not having an executed plan that's literally 100% mechanical. Manual trading will lead to our minds playing tricks on us. I have this conversation with Jim and my educators and anybody that's ever stepped into the limelight of teaching, that the brain sees what it wants to see. The human intellect is going to play tricks on you because we want to make excuses. Well, this could have been this and that could have been that. And well, maybe we'll do this time because the market was doing this. And it's just a bunch of bullshit. It's a bunch of bullshit because we want to take subjectivity into an objective environment. You cannot put a square into a circle. And just because the market conditions change does not give us I guess you'd say, the permission to become a bad trader, right? And that's something that I think a lot of traders struggle with, because you could have a trading plan, and then if the market changes, we just want to blame it on the market. Well, wait a second here. That doesn't give us the excuse to not be aware of what's happening. If you do not have the ability to adapt to changing market conditions, you don't have a business that's going to last in the marketplace. And this is where mistakes happen. This is where errors happen. And most traders, you're on your game for periods of time, but you're kicked out. It's like you're on the ace. Like when you watch sports, they play they're A star players, but even the pitcher gets a sore arm and they got to pull the pitcher, right? They got to put in the switch hitter, right? Like because not everybody's perfect all the time. And with automation, the goal with automation is to basically take the problems with human interference and replace it by having mechanical rules, speed of efficiency, testing and data, and to be able to take systematic and mechanical aspects into the trading realm, right? And there's no replacement for human intuition, but there's definitely a replacement for everything else. And that's where quant trading is getting a lot more famous. It's actually growing at about a 70% faster growth rate than discretionary traders globally, statistically, on platforms and in the industry as a whole. So why do I have a strong feeling around why automation is important? Why not is the question I should be challenging you to answer, right? If it can make you more money, if it can be better, if it has a much better edge than manual trading to the most part, I think you can kind of self-attest to that question, right? So I think it's important to stand out. I'm not a big believer in being egotistical. I think there's a lot of great companies. There's a lot of great educators and traders and vendors. Heck, we work with a lot of them. But there isn't anybody else that's come remotely close to what we've done in the algo arena. There's definitely vendors out there that sell automation, but they're decades behind what we've done in the engine process. Why? Because we've rebuilt an entire infrastructure for testing and trading and building and optimizing for I guess you would say, every system that we build. So unlike buying a black box or even a strategy, there's a big difference between buying a strategy and buying an algorithmic solution. What is the difference? Well, anybody can sell a strategy with signals, but what we do is very different. We have an engine, and you're going to see this today. We're going to talk about what this engine is, and you're going to see it tomorrow in the AMA, that the engine allows you to take the signals and build and test upon it. Filters, creating custom variables, time, money management, risk management, position sizing, trend filters, momentum filters, time of day filters, high watermark for money management integration, trailing stop integration, and break even, multiple exits, scaling in and scaling out, all of the different things that can take a strategy and make it 10 times more effective is what we built. So what we did was we built an engine to replace the entire NinjaTrader strategy analyzer component. And then what we do is we take different systems and we plug it into the engine. The engine is a benefit to you because you're not buying just a signal. You're buying a Ferrari that has the ability to take those signals and get into, I guess you say, a professional realm of trading. Okay, and we're going to get into that here as we progress into the examples today. Okay, there isn't another vendor in the world that has this. We know because some other companies that are very heavily into the algorithm base, and some of the biggest in the business, are now coming to us. You're going to start seeing them starting to sell our automated systems very shortly, mainly because we've basically created Pandora's box, right? We've done the unthinkable in terms of what it does in the platform. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about trend trading for a second. Let's get out of technical information. Let's get into kind of strategy stuff. Okay, trend trading is great when the markets are trend trading, right? How many of you guys have seen the markets trending, and when they're trending, you're like, wow, right? You get these wicked signals, and you're like, this is awesome, right? But then when the markets aren't trending, you're like, what happens? Exactly, Bradley, until it doesn't, right? Trends are great until the trend is no longer your friend, they say. But without putting in rudimentary jargon, if you're going to run a business as a trader and all you do is trend trade, well, you better really have a handle on when the markets aren't trending, because it's going to hurt you, and vice versa. If you're a reversal trader, right, and you don't have solutions for when the market's trending, you're going to get run over. Now, what we've done is that when we get into this algo, we built the system to catch the tops and bottoms. We built the system to catch the major turning points in the market, the reversals that matter, the ones that we can throttle based on capitulation. But then what we've also done is we've also built the templates so that we can capture capitulations in trending markets with the trend. So what we did was we really built the best of both worlds. We didn't intend on that happening. In all fairness, we actually were just developing a reversal system. But what we ended up doing was we ended up building a hybrid which allows for both reversal and trends using the same foundation, which we were like, oh shit, like this is great. Like it's kind of two systems in one. And then a trader can literally have one template running for trends, one template running for reversals. And now you're basically in a situation where whichever happens that day, your market scenario is going to play out. You're not going to be on the sidelines, which is really great. So you're no longer just sitting here just pigeonholing yourself into one environment. Trend trading is great when the markets are trending, vice versa with reversals when the markets are oscillating. Okay, so you're going to be able to catch a lot more moves with this algo because you're not sitting with one condition. This system is very, very specific as to how it enters trades. We're going to get into the rules around it. We're going to talk about it. It's not complicated. It's very, very simple. You're not wondering, okay, what the hell is going on with the algo? Like, where is the entry and what is it doing? You're not going to have to worry about, setting it up. All of this stuff has been set up in advance. So we're going to get into that here in just a moment. Okay. So here's an example of some signals. You're not going to be able to really tell the logic on this slide, but I just want to show you what some of the signals look like on the chart when you see the trades entering. You're going to see trades will happen based off certain patterns in the market. This is a price action system. Ben is saying one of the many keys is how quickly you can determine if the market is either trending or range bound. Yeah, well, even if the markets are range bound, the rules of this system, when we get into the demo, I'm going to show you, it's going to be very quick to understand how this system will deploy signals. So a lot of traders always want to know, like, well, what is it doing? How is it taking trades, right? I'm going to get into that. We're going to talk about it. We're going to show examples. Okay. Now, this is a long setup. let me kind of grab a cursor here for a second. And, well, let me just grab one more thing here. Let's take a look here. Let's pull this up. So before we get into this, I'm going to just draw a scenario here, okay? Grab this. So in a range market, right, you're going to get, oh, wrong color, guys. Appreciate the patience. In a range market, you're going to get this, right? You're going to get, like little choppy, like whatever, right? In a large oscillating market, you're going to get this, right? You're going to get swings, maybe a little bit, but then it swings up and, right? Both of those are non-trending. Sometimes you're going to get trends in those oscillating markets, depending on how big those ranges are, right? And then you're going to get markets that just go like this, or just like this, right? Those are just really, really wild markets, normally fundamentally driven, right? Whether the market is in a tight consolidation, whether the market is in a large swings, okay, or whether the market is in trending markets, okay, the way this system works is we can gauge the consistent capitulation of price. Normally, have you ever heard the term flushing? Okay, they're flushing the market. I used to teach this back when have you ever heard, like, okay, the markets are flushing, like they're really tanking, and a lot of times you see it on crude oil when the market tanks and it just starts 3 or 4 or 5 consecutive bars that are just slamming down, right? Like there's just no directional change, just one after the other after the other. A good example of that would be, you get a candle that just goes like this, right? And then you get another candle that just goes like this. And then you get another candle that just goes like this. And then it just keeps tanking, right? Yeah, it's purging. We call it capitulation, right? This is exactly what this algo is looking for. And we can set the size of the capitulation to accommodate tight ranges, large oscillations, or even trends where you get really, 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 really big runs away from, let's say this is an EMA, and the market just rips, and then it capitulates back real quick to catch the trends, right? You don't want to be catching trends where the market's like this, and it's like, like the trend, and it's really hard to trade a trend when the market's doing that. It's not really trending. Yes, it's trending over time, but it's a difficult trend to trade, right? Not all trends are very easy to spot. You can see that around VWAP. Sometimes the market will kick you in and out of a VWAP trade, and you're like, well, why doesn't the VWAP hold all the time, right? Like not all trends are so simple as just buy the 9 or buy the 20, right? So what we're doing in this is we're looking for sequential patterns in price. Now, this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bar capitulation. What do you see in this? What do you see in this pattern right here? I want to see if anybody can see it. Anybody here can see it? It shouldn't be that difficult for people to see. But I want to see if anybody can catch it. Okay, it's flushing. Yeah, we've established that. Points for trying, Bradley. But can anybody see like, is there anything that's standing out? Earl nailed it. Lower highs. We never took out the highs of price. Price continuously dropped after dropped after dropped after dropped. Now this is not a trend trade. This is not a range trade. This is just a pure price pattern that we're just deploying. And then what ended up happening is the signal triggered the first break of the highs after a sequential pattern was met in the market of flushing the market. Okay. And this is just an example of a 6-bar flush. This is an example of a 6-bar capitulation, right? You can understand there's 2 bars and 3 bars and 20 bars. It just depends on how aggressive you want to be with the restrictions of that. Okay. Now, let's continue on. Same thing with the short here. Okay. So you'll notice how the market kind of came up 1, 2, 3, 4-bar capitulation, and then it pushed up. Now this is not a trend trade or like a range trade. These are just examples of the signals firing off on the breaks of the highs of the lows. So the signal logic for the capitulation is looking at price action patterns following a sequential order of highs and lows, depending on how we want to set the capitulation in the algo. Now, that doesn't require filters. This is not basically saying we're going to apply this to a range-bound market yet, or we're going to apply this to a trending market. That will come after. But does everybody kind of understand how simple this is? Like we're using patterns. No, the APS system's very different in what it does. This is looking at sequential capitulation, and we're going to get into that here in a moment here, Donald. Yeah, great question, though. Yeah. So when you look at this, yeah, Mason, that was me actually from presenting. Let me grab us some water. That was my apologies. That was actually me. Been on the mic all morning. So when you look at these, can everybody understand the simplicity of this? Just as I broke that down, I want to make sure I haven't moved too quickly. Like, I think that everybody needs to understand signal logic before we jump into the next section. Okay. Perfect. So let me give you an example. Why do I want to show you this? I don't even care about this test result. I just want to ask a psychological question with you, because this goes back into why even look at algo trading. There was 50 trades here. Let me just use an example here, just for a second. There's 50 trades here, okay, with a 61% win rate. This is a 1.35 R multiple with a 2 profit factor. Okay. So just looking at this, I just want to ask a couple questions. I'm not here to try to sell this back test. This is not the goal here. My goal here is to ask you is that 47 trades executed. Okay. When have you sat down and logged 47 trades and been able to get some form of performance result for yourself to use? Meaning, do you normally have sample data like this? Do you normally have a result to see? How many of you guys would like to see, when you sit down and you say, okay, I'm going to practice in a sim account, and I'm going to trade for the next 15 days. I'm going to take all these trades, and then I'm going to analyze the results. That's going to take you 15 days. Okay. You may or may not have good results depending on your trading skills and depending on what you're doing. But at the end of those 15 days, what is your goal? Like, what is the goal at the end of, let's say, your 15-day trading period? Like, what would you be looking for if you were trading manually? A strategy. Just maybe put in the chat box. Like, what is your goal if you were to manually take 50 trades? Okay, before I'm going to go take some evals, or I'm going to go pass a funding at Combine, or I'm going to trade my live account. My goal is to write my trading plan down on my desk, go through all the work of taking screenshots and doing all that, and then take 2 weeks of trades. Ben says consistency. Okay, so what would be consistency? Would you a positive 15 trades over 15 days. Yeah. So over 10 days, 50 trades, you're averaging about 4 trades a day. So you would want to see, if you're taking 4 or 5 trades a day, you would want to basically see that you're being consistent over 10 days of trading. And then after the 10 days, is it safe to say that if you had an equity curve like this and you were winning 61 to 62% of the time with a greater than 1-to-1 ARM multiple, would you say that your brain, being a discretionary trader, would want to be ready to kind of maybe, okay, I'm ready to take an eval, or I'm going to, right? Yes. Because why? But why would you say that to yourself? Because you have data, right? You have data. Goal is to be profitable, right? That's the only thing that matters. Absolutely. Okay. So can I ask you guys a question? In the first 2 weeks of trading, exactly, seeing is believing. The first 2 weeks of trading this year, starting from the 2nd all the way up to, let's say, the 12th or the 15th, or like the first 2 weeks before Martin Luther King, how was your guys' trading? Can you guys tell me that today? Can you guys tell me, like, did you guys make a lot of money in the first 2 weeks of this year? Did you blow out a couple accounts? Can everybody here put their comment? Did you reap a ton of profits in the first 2 weeks of this year, or did you just break even? Where are you guys at? Mixed bag. William said it sucked. Philip said broke even, inconsistent. David had fairly up about 1.5%. Okay, David, great. Richard said mixed. Paul said he passed through evals, great. Sammy said gap trading has been really good, great. Not so good, John. Okay, so I had a lot of people writing in Discord saying that the markets were getting shitty, like post-holiday trading, and isn't that what I said earlier about making the excuses, right? Making the excuses of conditions versus kind of taking a look at what's going on, right? Can we all agree that we all want to make ourselves feel good when things aren't really going so well, right? So here's an example of one of the templates that I'm going to give you guys today. We're going to talk about this. We ran this for the first 2 weeks of this year, starting right on the 2nd. And this system, this is one of our high frequency templates. We have high frequency, medium frequency, and low frequency settings. So we're going to talk about that on the demo. We didn't have a losing day on this system this year in the first 2 weeks of the month. Like, not even a losing day. Now, you don't need to risk $500 per trade. You don't need to do that. That would require you to have one of the bigger evals. Maybe you could risk $100 per trade or $200 per trade. Either way, the statistics are still the same. It's just a matter of scaling position size. But when everyone else is sitting there struggling, making excuses, there are solutions that you could be looking at that you may just need to learn how to use them, or may be surrounding yourself in a different environment, or even just maybe opening up the mindset to say, okay, I'm going to start trying to take advantage of some of these tools or these types of ways of doing things, because there's many ways to do things if you're willing and you're open-minded to looking and learning and understanding them. Does that make sense? Now, would you think that how many of you guys would have liked to had 2 consecutive weeks of profitable trading without a losing day this year? Give me a yes or no if that would have made your life better this month already. Yes? Yeah. It would probably make a lot of people happy. Yeah. I'm not here to try to pressure sell you. I'm here to just show you like what took place this year. We wanted to make this as relevant as it has been so far. We also wanted to make it easy and understandable so that a lot of the new guys in here and the experience can take this and run with it, et cetera, right? And so we're going to get into some of these things, okay? But I just wanted to share with you, like, this is what's been happening on this system. And we were freaking blown away by it, right? We were blown away by it. We were like, okay, we did not expect that. And that also comes welcomed. Like, we welcome that. Who's not going to welcome when you build systems that they turn out to be freaking amazing, right? like as a developer and as an educational provider, we love when that happens, right? We've developed systems sometimes. In all fairness, our R&D team, we've spent money on coding and we've built products for our teams and our customers, and they just turned out like shit. We never ended up selling them. We never brought them to market. We have them in a bag on Dropbox, and we give them away for free because they just didn't turn out the way we wanted them. This is not that case, right? This is something that we were like, okay, wow, like this is amazing. So I'm just kind of sharing with you this because I know a lot of people came back after the holidays and we were getting emails saying, you know, I'm not doing so well, or it hasn't really turned out like I want to do better. You know, I want to have success. And how do you have anything you can help? Which algos are the best? And we always get that question, like, which algo is better than this? Well, it's not about which one's better or worse. It's a matter of which one do you feel is right for you, and do you like the way it trades, and do you like what it does, right? So some exciting new developments have come in this system. So this is something that a lot of you will benefit from in the engine on this, is we can automate reversals with this system, and we can automate trend trades using reversal logic, which is really, really fancy. We've also added the ability to create selective templates. We have high frequency and low frequency setups. So meaning we have a couple templates that are going to take a really lot of trades. So if you're somebody that likes scalping, you're going to love that template. We also have a couple templates that are really looking just nail massive capitulations, and they're going to be very restrictive, but the statistics are very, 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 very profitable. You could run them in parallel. The other thing too is we've added some extra features to the engine where we've added position sizing, which is very, very unique. Why do we add position sizing to this price action system? And we're going to talk about it here. Give me a second. Is that when you have Renko charts, Renko or range charts versus minute, volume, and tick. What's the difference between these? What's the difference between those types of bar types? Anybody want to answer that for me? Fixed bar, exactly. So when you're using a fixed bar system like range or Renko, okay, what happens is you can fix the risk on this, meaning you can basically, let's say if your risk is tied to the bar size, let's say you have a Renko chart, right? And the bar is like a 6-tick Renko. You can, and if you have your stop below the low of that bar, well, you know that your stop is probably going to be 1 tick above and 1 tick below. So maybe you know that your size is fixed at 8 ticks. Well, then what ends up happening is you can ultimately use fixed position sizing because your risk is going to be the same on every single trade. The moment you start using time charts or volume charts, they become variable price action. They become smaller candles or larger candles. So what ended up happening is that you could have trade size that would be different from each trade, from trade to trade. And we wanted to make it so that you have the ability to have dynamic sizing that is automatically adapting to the actual size of your position, right? Dynamic position sizing, which is great because it really only caters to price action algos, not Renko-based systems or range-based systems. So we added that. We've also added filters around days of week so that it makes it a little bit easier to filter around news. Some traders don't like trading Wednesdays for crude. Some traders don't like doing these types of things. It was just a feature that was been requested by a lot of traders. So we've added these, and these actually come as an added bonus into the system for this event. Okay. So another thing too that a lot of traders have also like always ask, is it a black box system? No, a lot of prop firms do not allow black box signal providers. No, Paul, this algo works with every single price candle. That's the whole point. It'll work with range, Renko, time, volume, tick. What it'll do is it'll open up money management and make it more flexible so that you can adapt to dynamic sizing on the trades. Yeah. So a lot of traders love fully automation, but not every trader wants to do that. They like to have the ability to step in and actually turn the algo on or off Sometimes traders will use the algo in combination with semi-automated systems, right? Let's say you're trading volume profile, you're trading supply and demand, and you want to engage in turning the automated trading system on or off, out of areas, et cetera, et cetera. You have full customization on this because we do not pigeonhole you into a black box system, okay? And I think that's really important to know, because I know like certain firms like, Apex and TopStep and some of the other firms, like they don't want you using black box systems, but they do allow for semi-automation as long as you can turn the systems on and off. Yeah. So this is going to springboard us into the demo. We've built a toolbox for everybody on this system. Why? Because there's different ways in which to set the reversals, some with reversals, some with trends. We don't need to go into this image because I'm going to show it to you on a demo, but we just want to let you know that we spent a lot of time building this system out because of what it does and because the stats were much better than a lot of other things we've built. And we want to make sure that, if you're going to use it, you've got templates that are built for different conditions. So I'm going to go in here. I'm going to basically go into this for a second. Does everybody understand that so far? Can you guys just type a Y in the chat box? I got a couple haters in here, John and all of you guys that want to just slam me. If you can do it better, launch the company, start building it, and get out of my event. No time for you. So I want to make sure that everyone here understood everything. It's important to go over the basics. Good. Great. So how many of you guys want to discuss high frequency first? High frequency, low frequency. What is your preference? Lots of trades, a little bit of trades. We're going to go over both, but let's start with one versus the other. High. John says high. Steve says low. Lots. Okay. So let's talk about a couple high frequency setups. So we're going to go over these here in a second. We're going to move these over to the right. Okay. So this is a great example of a high frequency setup on the S&P. Okay. And this is using trend filters. So this was not just huge capitulation. This is looking at capitulation in the direction of trades using specific patterns of like multiple bars breaking based on lows and highs. So I'll give you an example here. Let's just go into this trend for a second. Okay. So what we've done is we've set this to a 3-bar. I think it's a 3-bar. Yeah, it's 3 bars up here. And if you're wondering what this is on the right-hand side, let me kind of go in here for a second. And take a look here. 1 second. This. If you're wondering what all this is over here, this is what I mean by the engine. For those of you that are new here, on the right-hand side, this is literally the engine that runs all of the automated systems that we build in ARC. So you're going to see at the top right, we have a section for the strategy parameters. Very simple for optimization in this. We have literally one filtration program in here, which how many of you guys have bought some of the other algos, or you've seen some of the other systems where you've got literally like an entire section and optimizing and testing becomes a nightmare? Yeah. One parameter. How many of you guys like that? For those of you that are liking simplicity, one parameter for this will get you to where you can be testing and tweaking anything you don't like or love it. It's literally everything else has been built into the system. Okay. We have, excuse me, guys, I'm going to take some water. Neon, can't steal my line. So when you look at the engine, I'm just going to kind of scroll down here so kind of bring a little bit of basic information to everyone, is entries. We have the ability to do different types of sizing, static, fixed costs, or percentage risk on the account. We can choose market orders or limit order entries. We can look at stop loss filters, target filters, whether you want to use risk and reward, ticks, or ATR. So you can actually set targets based on 3 different variables. We have the ability for you to control time filters. So you can basically control time of day. You can actually create blockers. So let's say you wanted to trade the morning of the session, but then you didn't want to trade during news or during the open. You can block the open. These types of things are available in the engine. You can also go down here and filter by the days. You can see we're not sitting here pigeon. One of the #1 problems with auto traders is everybody over optimizes. How many of you guys have seen that where you over optimize and you cut out a Wednesday and you cut out a Friday and then you cut out 3 trading times? Next thing you know, you're like, fuck, what do I do? I don't even know what the hell this system is going to do because it's not realistic, right? That's called curve fitting. We're not blocking times here. We're not blocking days. We're literally just testing parameters on the system. The only thing we've done here is we've created rules around the signal and rules around momentum and trend because this is a trend filter on the reversal setting. So that's all we've done. The algo needs to breathe. Exactly. You need to give it enough information so that you're not sitting there saying, well, you're not working against yourself. If you over curve fit your systems, you're going to really be in a dangerous place because you're going to basically trade it live and it's going to blow up in your face and you're not going to get any results. Okay. We also have money management filters in here so that if you want to have daily goals, daily loss limits, you can set them. You can also set triggers where, let's say you make $1,000 and then you give back 200, you can stop trading. It's called a high watermark filter. You can turn that on. This is what I mean by we've created an engine that is unprecedented in algo development. So we've also basically put moving average filters in here. We have market structure filters, and we also have momentum filters. We have 3 different ways in which you can filter out trade criteria. I'll just explain this. You have EMAs, you have momentum, and you have market structure filters. So we can create 3 different environments to decide how we want to take trades so that you can choose trading with trends, trading with momentum, trading with, these types of things. Now, everything else is just settings inside of Ninja and color settings and visuals. Okay. Does everybody understand that? I wanted to give a base point for the new guys in here that don't know what the engine is, and you're not just getting a signal, you're getting the entire car, and it's important to understand what's under the hood. So when you look down here, this is the P&L box. This will allow you to be able to track historical P&L as well as real-time P&L on the session. It also has a data lag timer that allows you to be able to test your data feeds so that if you are sitting here in real time and you see this number really big, don't trade. There's something wrong with Ninja. There's something wrong with your data server, and you do not want to be executing trades. This is done for risk management, and it's done to protect you. Okay, a lot of times you get delays from the server, you get delays from the exchange, and it's not good. So here's an example. Okay, you get 4 consecutive bars breaking highs. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4, trigger. Okay. This is set to be 3. It just had 4. Does this make sense? Now, we're going to look on the other side of it. I want to show another long here for a second. This one had 2 back-to-back wins. This one here had a stop out, and then this one had another win. 2 wins here, boom, boom. This was a very good trading day. Then we came in here. This was a short that failed, and then we came in here for a long, back-to-back longs, and this was a failed one here. Now, this template is going to take a lot of trades. It's a high frequency template. That's why it says ES high frequency template. So I'm going to basically go in here and go into the stats on this just to kind of give you some example. This one had a great start, a little bit of a drawdown here, and then we had a break-even day on yesterday, right? And this is the high frequency template for the S&P. Now, you can go in here into the charts and trades. Give me a second here. I'm going to go into the analysis. We're going to sort by trade. Max drawdown. You can set blockers to, if you have a day where you have a daily drawdown of a certain amount, where you don't trade into certain drawdowns, right? Like if you can see the thresholds in here, we'll teach you this in the AMA to do this. But like if you can see the threshold here for $1,000, $1,000, you can see there's a common ground around drawdown management where you can actually put the algo to like, don't take trades after certain drawdowns are reached, and you'll be able to keep yourself out of large drawdowns. You also have the ability to set the ability to basically come in here, and you can see the threshold here where you could come in and you can have pretty huge days, just depends on market conditions. And like I said, this is just one of the templates. We're going to go into that in a second. Let's go into the other template here. We're going to go into this, and like they're designed for specific reasons. They're designed for differences. Okay, this is the S&P on medium frequency. So this is not as many trades per day. Okay, this didn't have problems. This didn't have a drawdown in the last couple of days. This was literally just consistent except for one drawdown. Yeah, one day. So this had a lot more consistency, a little less trades. You're looking at about 4 trades a day. Okay. But this is over a 1-to-1 R multiple. Okay. On this, and it's very stable from a medium frequency perspective. So let's go into the actual chart and take a look at this for a second. Okay. Little different changes to the settings that we built for this, tighter stops and targets. And this one here is basically creating filters around certain times during the morning session. It's only for the morning. Now, you're going to notice here that you can get a trade right off the open, or you can trade all the way through the day. I'm going to go back to maybe a little bit more activity here. This is a medium frequency setting. So you're going to get less trades on this, but you're going to get the trades that hit the criteria of what it is to do. This one here is requiring a little bit more restrictiveness in this. So let's go here and take a look at how many highs and lows are in this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So if you take a look at this, I want to paint this in a perspective here. There's the low. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 here. This is what we call a capitulation into one direction. Prices specifically coiling. This is what happens. It's priming the pump and then breaking down. Okay. This is really, really important to understand that, because when you look at this, it really depends on how many bars in one direction are meeting that criteria. Okay. Let's go back and take a look at some of the other days. Let's go back here and find it. Here. So here's a great example of win, stop, win, win. Okay. This ended up, okay, making money for the day, depending on how long you want to trade it for the session. Let's go back to the day before it. Okay. Right here. This one hit, stop, and then win. The key about this template, it's medium frequency. It really depends on how many trades a day you want. If we're going to compare this to the amount of trades per day, you're looking at about 4 trades on average versus the one above it had 18 trades on average. Like, there's a big difference between that, right? Like you got to make that judgment as to how many trades a day do you want to be taking, and do you want to run them both? They both have different rules. They both have different parameters in the settings. Some of them are using different filters on the EMA and the momentum, right? Some of them are not. We're going to do this one last because this is the capitulation, which we're going to talk about here. And let's go into this one, low frequency, S&P low frequency, okay? Like this one's really, really important because this one's not designed to take a lot of trades every day. This is specifically designed to look for specific price patterns, and when they hit, it executes. It's training that you can run them in. Yeah, you can run them. Like, let's say you got a couple accounts with a prop firm, right? Let's say you bought 5 accounts with Apex, or you bought 2 accounts with Top Step, or whatever you want to do. You can literally run one setting on one account, one on the other. And this is the whole point of running systems. This is what a lot of quant traders do, a lot of algo traders do, is they use different settings on different accounts, because that's the whole point. I mean, you're going to have different conditions hit different times. Now, I think it's not a good idea to run too many. Right? Neon's asking a great question. Can you run both templates at the same time? Yes, on different accounts, right? You're going to have different settings on different markets, depending on which ones you want to run. That's the whole point of us building several different settings for this. But this to me is exceptionally profitable. You would say, well, it's not a lot of trades. No, it's not a lot of trades. It's not supposed to have a lot of trades. This year, it had 20 trades. Very, very restrictive rules to what it's doing, but it's very, very profitable. How many of you guys would be okay having a strategy that fit 1 to 2 trades a day maximum, but it hits very, very profitably? And you just have that running on the side. Maybe you're in the trading room, right? And all you care about is just hitting a really badass trade every day, right? Like, that's the whole point. When we built this system, we built it for this specifically, capitulation, right? So why am I excited about this? Because you can run the high frequency trades, and you can, all the you scalpers in here can go to town with that. You're going to get lots of trades. I can promise you that you're going to get trades every single day based on price patterns. That's a given. But if you're really trying to nail an objective, Wouldn't it make sense to like have like maybe your parent account set up with like 5 copy trade accounts on like this type of a template, and then have like a play account on the side for like a high frequency and just run it on its own, right? You could really scale some freaking profits on something that's, you know, very specific. This is what we designed this for. This is a 70% success rate with a 2-to-1 R multiple. Yeah, you're reading that right. 2-to-1, 70%. That's insane. But I built the system for that. I studied the patterns. I was watching things. I said, Jeff, we need to build a capitulation algo around these rules. I've been looking at this for a while. Like, this is hitting, this is hitting, this is hitting. It doesn't happen all the time, but when it happens, it really, really works. And this is simple. Like, it's very, very, very simple. And so this is exactly what this is designed to do, right? I mean, since the beginning of this year, it's done 10,000 in profit with 700 drawdown. That's insane. Had a little bit of a loser here, a little bit of a loser there. Okay, that's fine. You're going to have a loss once in a while. No, it's not, Greg. This is not based on structure, boss. Yeah. So let me go into the actual chart and go in here. Now, what's interesting about this is that the stars need to align for this trade to happen. This is a combination of trend, momentum, and market structure all lining up. It's kind of like the eclipse, right? The full moon only happens once a month. When it does, let's go. And that's exactly what this does, is it lines up. When everything lines up, it hits. And we're going to go back here and like, just, you're not going to see a lot of trades. It's not supposed to take a lot of trades. When it hits, it hits. And it lines up, it coils, it hits. And, you know, what's nice is the stops are tight. The targets are huge. If it doesn't work right away, good, just let it be, right? And that's the whole point of this. This is a very, very, very specific template. We're going to go back and take a look at some of the other days. This hit, and it hits, and it hits. When it hits, okay, let me just explain what's happening here. When it coils, like this is everything is aligning here. Let me just kind of go back and just kind of explain what this is. The zigzag, this purple line, is the market structure filter, okay? The EMA here is the EMAs of the oscillators of the momentum. So these are momentum oscillators. The only reason they're on the chart is because we're displaying the momentum data on the chart visually so we can see it. This information is data coming from the momentum, okay? And everything needs to line up on the filters. But then look what we're seeing here, okay? What do you see on the price capitulation? No indicators rules. The only thing indicators are used are for filters, not for signals. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 consecutive capitulation bars in the direction of momentum filter, in the direction of price filter, bam, and it hits. And normally when these hit, I mean, 5 profit factor. It's not meant to hit every day. It's not going to hit 2, 3, 4 times a day. It won't. It's not going to. It's not supposed to. But when these trades hit, it's when you're at the poker table and you can read your opponent and you know he's bluffing, and that's when you push all in, right? This is really, really, really one of those types of strategy setups that you execute on when it happens. Let's go back, and you run it in parallel. Same thing here, right? Run it in parallel. Structure, consecutive lows, highs, here it is. This had 2 trades in the same day, right? Look at the capitulation on this. I just want to kind of talk a little bit about this. Price pushes down. Momentum EMAs are structured on your side. You get the pullback. Price capitulation pulls 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bar break all the way to the upside. Huge trades. These produce huge trades because normally this doesn't happen all the time. And when it does, it's kind of like the bus stopping, everybody gets on board, and boom, it flips. And I don't think that you should just rely on this by itself. I think that this can be just like your diamond in the rough. It's kind of your unicorn that sits on the side monitor, and when it hits, you're like, amazing. Because you're going to get about 1 trade a day. On average, it's hitting about 1 to 2 times a day. And that's okay. It's kind of like your Hail Mary trade that hits every day. 1 of those a day is a very profitable business. How many of you guys would find yourself okay taking 1 to 2 big trades a day that hit with high levels of success? Yes or no? Johnny Rocket says yes. A lot of you. All day, every day. Well, this system was built for this. It just ended up being that we also were able to bring it into the trend trades and et cetera, right? So we're going to get into some more capitulation here in a second. We're going to talk about these 3 templates here, and then that'll be a great segue into tomorrow's AMA. But I want to talk about the NQ scalper. So a lot of you guys say, well, do you have any stats for the S&P? And yes, well, we also have stats for the NASDAQ. So a lot of you guys are sitting here saying, oh, like you only have the S&P. No, we have both. So this is an NQ scalper. How many of you guys like to scalp the NQ? Yeah. S&P and the NQ are the 2 primaries. So we wanted to make sure we had templates built for both because this was a system that we really spent a lot of time on. So this system template is running filters, 4 bars, 4-bar capitulations with momentum trend filters, okay? This is a trend trading scalping system, okay? It's a trend trading scalping system. You are going to get trades on the NASDAQ with this. It's going to happen, okay? It is going to take place. And when you come in here, okay, this was the last trading day. This was what? I think this was yesterday. This was yesterday on the NASDAQ. I don't know. That's why I had it here because I want to show you yesterday. This was yesterday on the NASDAQ. I don't know what you guys traded on the NASDAQ yesterday, but yesterday this system made 2,000 yesterday on the NASDAQ. There's big days here on the NASDAQ. You know, you get a couple small days, you know, you get a couple losses, but this was yesterday on the NASDAQ. It was an amazing trading day. And, you know, you're looking at a 2 profit factor. This is a scalper. We're not looking for high win rates on this. This is, you need a high, or you're not looking for large R multiples on this, excuse me. You need high win rates. And this is the whole point of this system. Now, this is completely on the other realm of what I just showed you on the capitulation trade. Like, this is what I mean by this system's dynamic, is that you can have a scalping template, you can have a capitulation template, you can have a trend template, but this is an 85% hit rate with a 0.3 to 0.4 R multiple. You will need a high win rate to keep a 0.4 R multiple. Be mindful of that. But you get on average with this system, you know, 10 trades a day. So you have the ability to build a lot of stats on 10 trades a day, right? This has taken over 100 trades since the beginning of this year on the NASDAQ on a 1-minute chart. So why am I showing you this? Because, you know, it's had a really great run and it's consistently pushing good strength. When you look at the chart, it's very simple. It's waiting for specific price patterns. It's waiting for directional filters to kick in, and bingo, bango, done. Okay, very, very simple. Does the algo engine take market speed into account? Yes, the entries and exits are fully automated. This is a fully automated system. Yes, these are just filters. These don't need to be displayed on the chart. I do this just to kind of demonstrate some of the filters that we've added, but it's all based on price action. It's all based on price patterns. Yeah. Yeah, this is the system. Yeah. So to kind of summarize what I've just shared with you, I'm going to save the, you know, these for, this is definitely one of the best that you can run for like your diamond in the rough trade. This is high frequency S&P. This is medium frequency. Let's take a look. This is high frequency S&P. This is medium frequency S&P. This is low frequency S&P, huge capitulation trades. And then this is high frequency NASDAQ. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to end the demo with what the system was really designed to do. We built this system to be only trading large capitulations. Okay. And you're going to see down here, I have 3 tabs. I have a 6-bar tab. I have a 7-bar tab. And then I have an 8-bar tab. Okay. We're going to go through them one by one. So let's start the 6-bar tab. The 6-bar tab means we have a 6-bar break setting on the engine, which means if you go up here, it requires 6 price bars of consecutive highs or lows to be respected for this reversal to play out. Now, this 6-bar pattern takes on average 3 trades a day, okay, with a 1.3 risk reward with a 65% win rate. This is very, very consistent. And if you look here, okay, it's very consistent. Now, had a couple losses. You don't need to risk $500 a trade. You can risk $100 a trade for all I care. It's really whatever prop firm or live account risk you want to do, right? The difference with this is that you can set the money management up however you choose, okay? And 6 bars, what it means is it's going to look for specific settings in price. There's no momentum filters here. This is 100% price. So when we were building this algo at the very beginning, our vision was very simple. Price capitulation. Okay, capitulation. So that you could trade it in prop firms. You can use it on range and reversal days, and you can use it on trending days so that you have a combined solution. You're not sitting there making excuses about whatever's going on in the market. If the market's not moving, doesn't matter. You're going to be able to capture the patterns on price if the market's not moving. If the market's trending, great. You're still going to catch the trades on a trending market. So this is no momentum filters, no time blockers, no trend filters, literally just price. This nails really, really badass trades because you're waiting for specific consecutive price. It's very difficult to get 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 consecutive highs or lows in the market without breaking a high or low structure. It doesn't happen very often. When it does, it's because something is about to change. And that's exactly what this system resembles. Now, if you go to the 7-bar template, take a look at it. Like, what do you see here? 1.3 risk reward, 70% successful on that. Not meant to take a lot of trades, guys. This is not a scalping template. This is like, okay, you're going to get 1 trade a day. If it happens, it's going to hit. Take a look here. Let's go into this. Very consistent. Okay. Very, very structured. Okay. Going in here, we're going to go into the chart. Okay. Let's go in here on the S&P and let's go find it. When it happens, here it is. Okay. It doesn't happen on. Now, I want to talk a little bit about, take a look at this pattern for a second. How many candles do you see here in a consecutive direction without breaking the highs? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That doesn't happen a lot. And it's very hard to see that to the human eye, especially when you're watching a lot of things and you're trying to keep track of things. The algo will catch that. The human will not. That's the difference. It's designed to do things that you're not going to catch, right? It's designed to do things. See, you had a stop out here, boom, catch the low and ripped, right? Why? Because you get these market capitulations and you're probably wondering, well, why didn't it take a trade here? Maybe it was outside of the time window, right? We had a huge drop, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We probably would have had a trade here, but it's not when the market was starting. The trading didn't probably start there. You probably would have had another trade here if you would have been allowing the market to trade pre-market. Yeah. Okay. This is a 7-bar requirement. So this is very important to understand that this is a 6-bar, a 7-bar, an 8-bar requirement. My suggestion would be to run these on the side of a high frequency template, depending if you want to trade S&P or NASDAQ. Okay. Really, really banger trades. These are not meant to scalp. They're meant to hit specific patterns. And when they hit, just let it do its thing. Okay. Here, boom. This one got low ticked. Shitty bust. Life happens. It's going to happen once in a while. We're not curve fitting the templates. We're not trying to block certain times a day and, do things that are detrimentally going to blow up your account. That's not good testing, right? We don't want to do that. Take a look at us nailing the short on this. This is really, really important, right? Really, really important to understand what's happening here. Market capitulation. I want you to pay attention to the price pattern that happened here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 consecutive puke bars to the moon. This would be very good on the RTY, Paul. So Paul's asking, can it be work on? It's going to work good on the NASDAQ. It's going to work good on crude. It's going to work good on the Russell. Why? Because they're trending markets that run. Even gold will do it. We just didn't have enough time to test 5 freaking markets. We're only a small team. All right. So, when you look at the primaries, you don't get this pattern very often. And when it hits, it's normally going to hit. And I would strongly encourage you to keep your template turned on during news or things that are happening, because those are the times where the market's going to rip. And that's when you want to have your system engaged. Yeah. Then we look at an 8-bar. Very, very, you're not going to get this a lot, right? But as you look at this 8-bar, an 8-bar pattern, 85% hit rate with a 0.65 R multiple, almost 4 profit factor on the S&P with an 8-bar reversal. This is very, very, very good. And this had very, very low drawdown, like very, very low drawdown for this system on this 8-bar. The more and more we restrict the price action, the more and more the stats get better. And it's because you don't get them very often. So when they hit, it's like a gift. Take the gift, pay yourself. And there's no restriction on time of market on this. Like, you can trade this however you choose. It's really a matter of learning what it's doing and setting it up the way you want. Now, the way I see this, okay, and like I said, putting together a game plan. Okay, so this would be the Springboard game plan. Number 1, okay, you're going to have a high frequency trading template running, right, for either the S&P, the MNQ. We have those tested now, so you can use our pre-built templates. Okay. 2, have a low frequency trading template. We have it tested on the ES. You can use one of the 4 that we built. We have a 6-bar, we have a 7-bar, we have an 8-bar setting, and we also have this one, which I'm not sure how many bars this is. This was a 4-bar. The 4-bar is actually pretty good, very good. It's got a 5 profit factor. So what I would do is I would choose, do you want to trade the NASDAQ or the S&P? You would pick either this one here or this one here. And then you would choose, either the 4-bar, which is this template here, or one of these other 6, 7, and 8-bar templates, which you can run. I would probably pick the 4-bar. It has better stats with more trade activity, and then basically use a high frequency template if you choose. Why? Because now you're not sitting there just waiting for that unicorn trade. But, if you're a really patient and disciplined trader, you'll probably make a whole lot of money doing that. I can't guarantee that. It's against the law for me to say that, so I'm not going to do that. But I'm just saying, based on our testing and based off what we're seeing, that would be a really good game plan. Now, we have a VIP AMA for algo users tomorrow. Jeff and Jim are going to spearhead this. We're going to be going over the engine. We're going to be going over settings. We're going to be going over testing process. We could even look at other markets if you want. Okay. They're going to be your backbone for user training and getting sorted, right? I'm a firm believer that you don't just buy a tool and then just start drilling into the wall before if you have any there. You need to just give yourself a little bit of time to be around a few people that are here to help you. Like, my team is here to help you. Don't just go into the Discords and just start running the template and not know what it's doing. Like, give yourself 24 hours, for God's sake, to kind of really kind of nail it, and let us help you. That's what we're here to do. Okay. So how many of you guys can see the potential in using the unicorn trade? This is crazy. The 5 profit factor one, this is badass, like 70%, like with a 2-to-1 R multiple. Like, I haven't seen a template that big. I haven't seen a price action system that produces those numbers. I have other vendors that are selling algos that are actually coming to us right now and actually saying, can we sell your algos? And we're like, yeah, if you want to be an affiliate, yeah, no problem. So what I'm trying to get at is that, you could really just start with this and be running it on the side, even if you're in our trading rooms. I think it would be just very, very, very badass. If you're really an algo enthusiast and you really want to run multiple templates, then I would really encourage you to take a look at using the HFT template on either the NQ or the S&P, and then you run this in parallel. Yeah. It's really, really, really solid. So let's get into pricing, because a lot of people always want to know what it costs. I want to talk a little bit about what this costs and what we're going to do here, and then we're going to post some links in the chat box. So this is a one-time purchase. You don't have to worry about us charging you subscription fees on a monthly basis on the algos. Like, this is literally, you buy it, you own it. You get access to the code and the updates on Ninja 8 for 2 computers. So you get it for 2 computers. One thing that we're known for is like extremely detailed user documentation. So if you're somebody that really wants to make sure you're ordering something that is, you really can feel comfortable reading it and understanding it, we're really good with user documentation. Okay. We can install it for you. So if you're somebody that needs help installing it, by all means, all you need to do is just let us know. We'll log onto your computer. We'll have you up and running in no time. But the real big aspect of this is the work that we've done to build the system templates. And you also have access to our algo course. For those of you that are new in here, when you buy an algo from us, you get a deep dive course. It's everybody who gets an algo gets this course. Why? Because it breaks down the process of the algo testing process, from building and testing and optimizing inside of NinjaTrader. And it's a very comprehensive starting point for a lot of traders that are new and they need to get their bearings. Now, the templates that you've seen here in the demo, you get them. You get every one of them. So you don't have to worry about trying to figure it out. We have a workspace for you. We have a template for every scenario for you. And, there's nothing better than that, right? You don't have to figure things out. All you need to do is come to the AMA tomorrow, as long as you're there. Now, I have really something to kind of bring full circle here. This is important. In the trading industry, it's extremely difficult to find a company that stands behind what they do and to basically back what they do. So we have what we call a love it or swap it guarantee. What does that mean? That if in the first 30 days, if you're not completely sold, like for whatever reason, you just don't love it, or you're just not, tickle pink on it, and you're just, you know what, Sean, like, this was really great, and for whatever reason, we don't want you to feel pressured. So you can swap it for anything of equal or lesser value in our store. We have over 100 indicators and algos on the ARC website. Literally, pick your choosing. You just, whatever you want within the first 30 days. So you get the best of both worlds. You can literally use the tool. If you love it, great, keep using it. If you're just, you know what, Sean, I want to use one of your other tools, great, swap it, whatever you want. But we don't want you to feel pressured that you're just buying something and then having that feeling like, wow, geez, I bought something, I don't really love it. We get it. It takes a bit of time. We want you to feel confident. We want you to feel, comfortable, and we're here to help you every step of the way, right? So there's really no risk to you. You have the ability to truly take advantage of that. Okay, guys. So tomorrow's AMA event, it's Friday at 12 noon Eastern time. So after the morning, which is great if you're trading in the morning. We're going to be breaking down everything you need to know about this system. So it's really encouraged that you're there. It's really important that you show up for that. And you participate. It's only for those that own it. So if you want to be a part of that, you'll have to buy the system today, because we're only interested in working with traders that are really serious about using the systems, right? We're not really interested in just teaching a bunch of people stuff that are not involved in the inner circle, right? We spend months doing these things. We really want to surround ourselves with like-minded professionals. I'm sure you guys can understand that, and I think it's a fair statement, right? So what I want to do is I want to thank you guys. Let's put this back up here to the offer slide so you guys can start over questions. I'm going to run a poll here so that I can gauge, because I only have a few people on staff to help onboarding. And normally what we want to do is we want to make sure that my team can assist in doing installs and supporting you guys. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically launch this poll. Can you do me a favor, please, and just answer this? If you're somebody that either you're in or you're not, I need to know, because I want to make sure that my team can install it with you. We have to make sure that that our staff is available and spends extra time tonight and tomorrow morning getting you up and running. And I can't speak to like the effectiveness of it. The Springboard itself, like the capitulation setups on reversals for the unicorn trades, are just, like you could be in the Jim's trading room, Ethan's trading room, anyone else's trading room, and have this running on the side, and when it hits, it's gonna cash out. Like it's I've been testing this for months, and we built it for that reason. Yeah, but we just didn't expect it to also be high frequency stability, and we were just very, very grateful for that. It turned out that. Yeah. Yeah. So Jim, if you want to post your number or reply to John, and he can give you a call or all that stuff, we'll reach out to you and set up a time to call. Yeah, not a problem. Did you learn something from the event? I hope that I was able to teach you guys something and help you be able to benefit from it. We understand everybody's at a different level of experience, but it's good to have you here. Welcome all the newbies in here. For those of you that are like, whoa, this is like drinking from a fire hose, no problem. Come to the events, come to the training, get in touch with us. We'll definitely help you out. And thanks, Ben. No problem. Yep. Yeah. So Jim, if you want to take those phone numbers down, you can reach out. Yeah. So if you want to type your questions in here, guys, John says I'm going to review the webinar again. Yeah. Excellent. Paul, we'll give you a call. Yeah, we got your number here. Thanks, Daniel. Appreciate it. Thanks, Sammy. Yeah. Yeah, we really put a lot of work in R&D. We really put a lot of work in testing. Yeah. Let me go through the questions, guys. So it's really coming in here. They're really coming in now. So, so Sean says, I noticed that sometimes inside a NinjaTrader, strategy performance can be a bit flaky. It's ultimately, in all fairness, Sean, everybody's at the mercy of how good any testing engine is. One of the things that you can rely on with price action algos versus indicator algos or Renko-based or range-based systems is that price action is a lot more accurate. So the fills are a lot more accurate on minute data because time is a constant factor. So this is something that we really noticed with regards to testing is that, any systems that are built on price strategies tend to have much better back testing results and actual comparisons to live trading. It's really hard sometimes with Renko and range when tick data doesn't get cached equally on PC to PC. And ultimately the data warehouse inside of platforms can ultimately get corrupted and things change. So to answer your question, that nothing is perfect, but price action minute data systems are a lot more accurate, which these are. So Jim, if you can take Sean's number down there and that'll be good. I would like to do an install Cliff. So I'm assuming you just purchased Cliff. So yeah, we can do that. You'll have to email in. Ben and Jim will handle the influx on that and get you set up for that. Ben does all the installs and works with you guys. Yeah. Yeah. Joseph, you're asking a very difficult question. Joseph asks a very valid question. I'm going to cover it. He says, if you could only buy one algo, which one would it be? I really think that's a loaded gun because it really depends on the type of trader you are and what you're looking to accomplish. There's order flow guys out there that will never trade anything other than order flow. So having them come into a day like today, they're going to say, great concept, but I'm an order flow trader, right? And they're going to buy the HFT algo, without a doubt. We have a volume profile algo that's coming out in the near future so that all the volume profile traders are going to be like, holy shit, this is exactly what I've been waiting for, right? Price action traders love price action algos, right? To me, this has been a very profitable system. I think this is the most profitable price action algo that we built so far in that it does exactly what it's designed to do. It's catching capitulations and it's doing exactly what the system's designed to do. Joseph, what's nice is that our love it or replace it guarantee means that even if you bought this one and you weren't completely sold on it, you could swap it for another algo. Yeah. So hopefully that makes sense. Yeah, the documentation is like 10, 20, 30 pages long, depending on the algos. Yeah. Or depending on the system. Yeah. So, and I don't have them loaded. They're in the members area. So it's, you'll have to see them in the back end. Yeah. So this will work on all chart types, but it's built for testing on minute bars. I really think this would be very profitable on higher timeframes as well because of the nature of the system. I would be very interested to see tests on 2, 3, 4, and even 5-minute charts. I think that you would run back tests maybe for like a year of data on a 5-minute chart, and I think we would get substantial information. Given the fact that it's a price action system, it can be tested. I'm actually going to send, we have a couple beta testers that do that for us, but I truly believe that you could probably run this system on a 5-minute candle and run it for like an entire year of data. And I bet you that the statistics will blow you away. Why? Because you very rarely see those capitulations. And when they happen when they happen on bigger time frames, it's a very impactful thing. Yeah. We don't do cash refunds. We do credit swaps in the store, John. So if out of the 75 to 80 systems and indicators on ARC's website, you'll have your pick of the litter. Yeah. So this is why we have a love it or swap it guarantee. Yeah. Johnny says, I'll need help with the install. No problem. Most people do. Yeah, we're going to send a recording out after the webinar. And yeah, so Smokey Ross, Jim, if you could contact Smokey Ross or write his name down here and get his email, just fill out I would like someone to reach out. Anybody in here that needs help with that. And he's also wants information on the GAP program, Jim. So make sure I'm just helping you out there so you can see the questions as they're coming in. Yeah. You can always just buy one algo. Yeah. You can always buy one algo, John. Yeah. We have lots of them. It just depends on what you want. Ronald says the CWAP algo, it's coming, baby. You better believe it. So all of the traders in the trade room are going to get that as well, benefit from it. Yeah, they're gonna want to use it. Well, they don't get it, but they're going to want to use it if you want it. Yeah. 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 So let me see here. Martin wants you to contact. Yeah. So just put in the poll you want to contact. Do me a favor. Only 32% of you have answered the poll. Can you do me a favor? Just take 5 seconds out of your day for me. I think I've earned it after the presentation. Just let me know you're either in or you'd need us to get in touch with you. I just want to know where we're at because we need that poll to be answered because we're not going to just email you for no reason. We're not going to bother you and contact you if you don't want us to. Right. So just help us out here. Steve, this algo is probably the best price action one that I've seen so far, but we've developed several and this one's very good. I mean, the other ones are great. I mean, I don't pick favorites, Steve. I really don't. I really like to just look at quant trading from an objective perspective. Each algo does what it was designed to do. I think that that's really important. They all have pros and cons. This has a very big pro to it, meaning it's the only one that looks for large capitulations and that it's designed to look for the diamond in the rough. These patterns very rarely happen. And when they do, it's very hard to catch them and spot them. So when you do, you can almost bank on them and cash that out. Yeah. We'll get you a link to the recording. No problem. Yeah. We'll send you a replay out, Carl. Martin, you'll need to contact sales with Ashley and Jim on that for the replacement process. They handle all that back end stuff. John Z wants a call, so Jim can reach out. You will need NinjaTrader, Martin. Yeah, NinjaTrader is required for this. Yeah, but NinjaTrader is free to use on the demos. And if you're signing up for an evaluation, you get it free for the prop firm accounts. Everyone's going to get the replay today, John. Yep. If you want to join the AMA, though, for tomorrow's deep dive, you need to buy today. Yeah, we were only keeping that. We're We're only keeping that open for the customers that are using the software. Yeah. All these templates are based on the 1 minute, but you can literally optimize. And Jeff, I think you're here, eh? Maybe you can come on the mic for a sec.
Yes, sir, I'm here.
How fast is these compared to like the indicator systems for optimizing? Like to test these, it's so much more faster.
Minute bars is really fast. You know, it's not a big data requirement.
No, it's no big data. And for us to run these optimizations, like those capitulations, those big ones on the reversals on like a 3 minute or a 5 minute, I mean, you could probably go back months.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean,
with
fast.
minute data, it'd be pretty quick.
Maybe tomorrow, John, yeah, we can get you called today. Yeah, Jim's planning on not sleeping tonight. I think Jim's on the mic here. Jimmy, come on here. I don't think Jim's allowed to go home tonight. He's got about 100 phone calls to make. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't ever sleep. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
So Jim's gonna call every one of you. Just stick by the phone, or make sure your dog answers. Whatever you need to do, guys. But do yourself a favor. If you want in on this, make sure you answer that poll, or we can't get out to you. And if you need him to contact you, make sure you put your phone number in the chat box. Jim's writing them down. To answer your question on using it on other timeframes, I think tomorrow, guys, maybe you could walk through a back testing and an optimization process on maybe a different time frame, and maybe show it on like maybe a 5 minute, maybe go back several months, just because the data is so much bigger and much more efficient on that. And we'll show you how to do it, which will be really good, because the whole point of the AMAs is to show you how we built these templates for the 1 minute, and therefore you guys can use it for your own. Yeah, me too, John. I would love to see the 5 minute. I think the 5 minutes a badass time frame, and the stats would be very powerful. Yeah. Guys, my throat's a little toast. I've been talking for an hour and a half, and I need to go and get some food in me, or I'm going to collapse. I've been up since 5 a.m. working on platforms and code. So if you guys could do me a favor and get in touch with my team, I'm sure my guys would be more than happy to accommodate. Type a Y in the chat box if you're in it to win it. You guys are excited. You'll be there tomorrow, and looking forward to having you guys part of the Algo community. Remember, we have a love it or swap it guarantee, so you're not forced to just use this. If you don't love it, we've got a great inventory of products you can take advantage of, and my team and I are here every step of the way. So we really want to see you succeed in this, and we can get you off the ground running. Yeah, John. John. Jim can call you. Yeah. If you put your phone number in here. Yeah.
Yeah, John, put your phone number in there if you want me to call you.
Maybe do me a favor. Everybody who wants Jim to call you right now, just put your phone number in here, and he'll take screenshots of your numbers, and just do me a favor. Everybody who wants Jim to call him, just, yeah. Good thing AI is now inventing cloning, so we can clone a few of our guys. I want to thank you guys for being here today as the lead on this. I always appreciate your guys' attendance. As always, we appreciate your business, and you're always at the forefront of innovation. Feature requests, algo requests, anything like that. Always send them into our team, and our R&D team. Our R&D guys will always look at that. Yeah. Yeah. So thank you so much, guys. I'm going to stop the recording. I'm going to leave the room open here, Jim, for you. Okay.
Mm-hmm.